Bhupen, thanks very much for joining us from Varanasi here on the show. You've been camped in UP for the last few days. We've seen massive road shows. The Prime Minister, of course, spending a lot of time in the state and specifically where you are. What's the mood like as we head towards the last lap?
Well, truth be told, Shireen, what one has seen over these last 48 to 72 hours in Banaras is something which has not been seen in a long time in Uttar Pradesh. I have seen many political rallies, I have seen many political road shows in my lifetime, but I can tell you that what Modi has managed to do over a period of 3 days is something which would be a very tough feat to beat. The kind of hysteria which has been generated yesterday through his road shows, the kind of crazy emotion which people were trying to control when they saw Modi was absolutely unparalleled. You know, Akhilesh Yadav has been trying to take this position that he has given mobile phones and laptops in the hands of individuals. The truth is that I saw those very mobile phones being used by people on the streets of Banaras to somehow try and get a selfie frame with the Prime Minister, somehow try and get hold of a video with the Prime Minister. Banaras well and truly modified over these last 3 days. 8 assembly segments. I think this 3-day period which has been spent by the Prime Minister does give the BJP a very good chance at the assembly level across these 8 seats. Because at the Lok Sabha level, this was a stronghold. This became a stronghold with the advent of Modi. But at an assembly level, the BJP was nowhere in contention in 2012.
Bhupen, you know, we were expecting a press conference from the Akhilesh Rahul camp. That press conference was called off. What do you believe is the strategy on the part of the alliance now? I mean, it's now virtually a done deal and we will have the results out on the 11th. But what do you believe is going on in the minds in the alliance camp?
You know, I have spent some time with a very senior Congress leader today, and he gave me a very interesting anecdotal experience which I could put up for your viewers. And certainly your market viewers would be interested in this, since all of them would believe in muhurats. And, you know, you have your muhurats for trading. Here's the muhurat for political stocks in a sense. Look at when the campaign began for Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party. The initial slogan was 27 Saal Uttar Pradesh Behal. There was a Khatia rally, a Charpai rally, which was flagged off by Rahul Gandhi. You know what happened on that very day when that Charpai rally was started? People ran away with the Charpais. That Congress leader tells me that it was a sign of bad luck. What happened when Akhilesh Yadav started off with his Rath Yatra in that fancy Mercedes van? That Mercedes van broke down. Bad omen number 2. What happened when Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi wanted to go inside the famous Kashi Vishwanath temple together and pay their, you know, offer prayers to the Lord Almighty there? Again, electricity went. Omen number 3. Now, this may all ultimately mean nothing, but it just shows that somewhere along the line, the numbers, mathematically speaking, maybe this was a game which was in favor of this alliance, but the chemistry between Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi is just not there. I think that's the only reason why Dimple Yadav was forced to come in and start campaigning for Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav right towards the end of this entire election campaign. What I hear from people close to Akhilesh Yadav is that the feeling within the Samajwadi Party camp is for Akhilesh to consistently be shown so aggressively with Rahul Gandhi, the negative image which is associated with the brand Rahul may end up rubbing off on Akhilesh Yadav as well. So while this alliance, mathematically speaking, may be in the favor of Akhilesh Yadav and Rahul Gandhi, from a chemistry point of view, maybe there are problems, and maybe that's the main reason why this press conference was called off literally at the last moment.
Finally, a quick word on Mayawati, Bhupen. And, you know, there's a lot of commentators who believe that perhaps Mayawati could be the joker in the pack. Perhaps the media is underestimating the power of Mayawati. You've spent a fair amount of your time in UP. What's your own take on the BSP and Mayawati's odds?
Conventionally, Mayawati has never ever been understood by Delhi-based pollsters, by the so-called national media. Since 2002, when she beat the BJP and got into an alliance later on, 6 months down the line, to form a government on her own, she has consistently in election after election, always she has been underplayed. Mind you, Mayawati even today, at the peak of Modi wave across UP, was sitting on 20% vote in this state. Now 20% is a lot of vote. Is her core Dalit vote intact or not? That's where the game really is. For the first time, I think, in these last 15 years, a party has made an earnest and sincere attempt to try and make an impact, make inroads into that vote base which was created by Mayawati, very, very assiduous in association with Kanchi Ram. Mayawati typically doesn't campaign on the last day of campaigning ever. That's what she's done this time as well. She's chosen to do a press conference. I have met her a couple of times this election campaign season. Most certainly I do not believe that Mayawati is done and dusted. Most certainly I do not believe that Mayawati is just not in the game. The problem is that Mayawati's campaign can never be picked up because she works very, very silently. So who knows what's going to come up on the 11th, but I would never ever discount the possibility of a Mayawati surprise.
All right, Bhupen, we'll check in with you through the course of this week. And of course, on the big day, the 11th, that's the verdict day. Stay tuned to CNBC TV 18 and CNN News 18 as we bring you the live election verdict. Thanks, Bhupen, for joining us on the show.
Well, I guess, Shireen, the